Hi, my name is Jared, and this is Horror Obsession on October 11th, bringing you a recommendation for the second Sunday of Horror October. Today's movie is a callback to the 80s practical effects horror movies we all know and love. And this movie's aesthetic is like John Carpenter's The Thing, 1982, an all-time classic and my favorite movie of all time for many years, mixed with something like Kill List, 2011, directed by Ben Wheatley, a low-budget, gritty, but completely enthralling movie which, if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. There are also elements of Hellraiser, another masterpiece of the 80s. Many of you have probably guessed, but today's movie is The Void, 2016, directed by Jeremy Gillespie. So what's the setup? Well, we start off seeing two people running from these farmers, and they catch one of them. The young man dumps gasoline on her, and the dad gives her the old Shireen Baratheon treatment.
Please! Not the knife, please! Please help! Don't do this! Please, Mother!
During the transition from the introduce the horror scene to the start of the movie, there is a mysterious figure in a white sheet. So mysterious. Oh, ever so mysterious. Alright, so next we see the guy who got away get picked up by a cop and taken to the local hospital where the cop suplexes this injured guy onto the stretcher. In one of the rooms, there is a nursing student annoying one of the patients with pictures from a physio book, while back in the waiting room the cop is talking to a pregnant lady and her dad who are both clearly well-known locals. In the other room, that guy who got picked up is thrashing around and gets sedated. The medical team tries to determine his identity unsuccessfully, and unfortunately for them, the evil is already starting to take hold. Alright, and that's the setup for The Void, a movie fairly well known in horror circles for using almost exclusively practical effects. Gillespie was assistant art director on Suicide Squad, and crowdfunded the money for the effects on Indiegogo, while convincing some of the Suicide Squad special effects team to work on The Void while they were both filming in Toronto. The end effect is a movie whose special effects perform way above its budget. Jeremy Gillespie does a great job of presenting the hospital as menacing, which really boosts the movie's effectiveness. Constructing your establishing shots correctly can add a layer of dread and menace to every scene. Even before the blood hits the fan, this movie already makes you feel uneasy. Once the splatter starts, it is so good it envelops and overshadows the rest of the movie, but in a good way. Gillespie delivers on the promised explanation for what is happening, and by the end it is hard to not be impressed with the boldness of the premise and its execution. So that wraps up day number 11 for Horror October, and check back in tomorrow for a movie that puts a fun twist on the 80s slasher summer camp subgenre.